Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode 152. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
And what is going on in sunny, beautiful Los Angeles, California?
It is sunny. It is beautiful. It is not fall.
Not yet. We're still in summer. People got to understand that.
What? Wait, when does fall officially hit?
23rd? Tomorrow, from when we're recording.
Okay, so then yesterday, based on when this drops.
Yes.
So happy fall, everyone. It's going to be 95 degrees here.
Oh, hold on. Siri, hey Siri, off.
What's Siri doing?
Hey Siri, off. Thank you.
This is why I don't have those voice recognition robots in my house.
No. To be fair, I set an alarm to record, but we started recording a half hour before I set the alarm because I forgot. So that's all that was. That was my miscalculation. Do not blame Siri. Do not blame the AI because she is listening.
I blame Siri. And you know what?
You're wonderful, Siri.
Yeah, she can listen all she wants because I don't have her.
I love you, Siri. Hey, Siri, I love you.
Oh, boy.
And like most typical women, she did not respond.
Yeah. This is, well, maybe we should rephrase that. Most typical women with you.
No, yes, that's what I meant. That's where I was going with that. You're exactly right.
Please, let's not stereotype women.
Anywho, that is a dark, terrible look into my private life. We have a lot happening this week. A lot of cool releases that came about, and I think we should just jump right into it because we got two big releases. The first one is we're going to dip into the modern here, but with a bit of a throwback flair because out right now for the Nintendo Switch, and it is getting rave reviews, is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on the Switch.
Yes.
Yeah, your immediate thoughts on this one, Ant?
Well, first off, it was funny because I didn't pre-order it. That was the thing.
Oh,
and
all right.
And it just so happened on Friday I went to the store because I needed to pick up a portable hard drive because I'm out of space on my computer. And I'm like, okay. I was like, why am I out of space on my computer? Oh, this podcast takes up a lot of memory. So
it does.
And I was in the process, again, just really quick story. I was in the process of trying to save an external hard drive that crashed on me.
Okay.
And it was my backup hard drive. So it's got like 20 something years worth of data. So I'm like, I was like, I need to fix this. And I found a way to recover it. Actually, strangely enough, if you don't know this, and I don't know how it happened, but when I hooked up the hard drive to my computer, left it on, rebooted my PC, Windows 10, like when it was rebooting, Windows 10 recovered the drive. I don't know how it did it.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, it just like there was a little thing on the bottom of my screen saying, "Oh, this thing is corrupt," or whatever the hell it was, recovering, and then it recovered it, which was awesome. Did not recover everything, but that's what happens when a drive crashes. So but the important thing is like I got a good chunk of the data on there, which is great. So the reason why I'm telling this story is because when I went to go buy the hard drive at the store, I glance over and I see Link's Awakening, and I'm like, yeah. I was like, what made me think I wasn't going to buy it?
I know, right? It was only a matter of time, if anything.
Yeah. So in other words, so I grabbed it and immediately started. Well, I started playing it on Saturday, and I also decided that this is going to be my first game I'm live streaming.
Okay.
Now, granted, it's not retro, but it is retro in a way.
In a way, it is. Yeah.
Remastered retro. So, initial thoughts. I'm having fun with it. I mean, very simple. Yeah, having fun.
Now,
that's it.
You never played the original on Game Boy. I mean, we already established you weren't a Game Boy fan, but even nowadays with the Retro Freak and stuff like that, you never played it originally.
No, I never did. The only Game Boy one I've ever or handheld one I've ever tried was Oracle of Ages, and that's only because I hooked it up into my Retro Freak.
Yeah, and that's a good one. Ages and Season is good.
Yeah, and I have to get back to this.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Now that you're going to get knee deep into Link's Awakening, are you able to bounce back and forth between the Zeldas, or you got to focus on one, and then when you're done with that, move on?
One and you got it. One and move on. I'm not you.
I like it. What?
I'm definitely
I
not
am
you.
very all over the place.
Yeah, like see, Oracle. It's interesting too because Oracle of Ages, I played a little bit of it and then I put it down, and now since I put it down, I have to go back and start over. I
Oh
can't
yeah,
pick up
that's
where, yeah, I can't pick up where I left off. It's like I have
for
to. Yeah.
so many role-playing games. I've had to go in and just erase my save file. I'm like, this is useless at this point in my life.
Yeah. It's one of the many
So,
reasons why I'm not playing the Final Fantasy VII release on the Switch or wherever it's available. Because if I start it,
oh yeah,
I'll be playing that for months, and by the time I finish it, the new one will come out, and
I
I'll
was
have to
gonna
play
say,
it
yeah,
again.
he's just gonna get the new one, so why
Yeah,
bother?
yeah. Although
Uh,
Final Fantasy VIII remastered, I'm definitely gonna pick up.
that one looks cool because remember, there's a difference between remastered and remake. So,
Exactly. So I'm
um,
definitely looking forward. But anyway, Link's Awakening. Yeah, I'll stick with that one all the way through, and
good.
hopefully live stream the entire way. So
Looks like you're on your way. Definitely check us out. Remember, check us out on Facebook, on Twitch. On Twitch, we are TRG underscore podcast.
that's
Right?
correct.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah,
Cha-ching.
TRG podcast was taken, unfortunately.
We're going to go to war with them. We're bringing you down, TRG, whoever you are. Probably
Yes.
some small child just trying to have fun. And then we're also on YouTube at Retro Gamers Podcast. So check those out for the live streams. Either we're going to try to do all three at the same time, or we'll just be bouncing around.
Yep.
But yeah, this is going to be a fun. So let me ask you, let me tell you my reaction because I played Link's Awakening on Game Boy originally. To me, I rank it top 3 Zelda games of all time. In
Wow.
my ranking, oh, absolutely. In my ranking, I would probably put it 3. I kind of go Ocarina of Time, Links to the Past, and Link's Awakening, but sometimes 2 and 3 will flip flop depending on how I feel.
Oh
But
no.
but in any event, it's those are my top 3 regardless. And again, that's top 3 playing it on Game Boy. So that right there is proof how much this game has had an impact on the series in gaming, and how a lot of people say Link's Awakening on Game Boy was fantastic. So now bring it up into the new generation. When it was first announced, I've mentioned it here. I was very trepidatious. My head hurt. I just got dizzy saying that.
I know you're not used to that many syllables.
I only know that from WrestleMania 3. Um, trepidation is the word of the day. So
And who says you can't learn anything through wrestling?
Enthusiasm. Hey, listen, the external occipital protuberance. Little
Yes.
bump on the back of the head. So I was I'm like, oh, these graphics, what? Look, I get it. They're not gonna re-release the Game Boy version, though they should, because we're seeing a lot of Game Boy games being re-released, not just on the Switch, on all the consoles. But very nervous. When you saw the trailer, and I guess, and maybe because you never played the Game Boy version, it didn't bother you, for lack of a better term, of these graphics.
No, the graphics didn't bother me at all, and I had a very simple reason behind why it didn't bother me, and it was Wind Waker. I remember everybody getting up in arms when Wind Waker was coming out, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker on the GameCube, because of that cell shading animation, and everybody was like, "Oh man, this is going to be awful," and it looks terrible. It's not like a regular Zelda game, and I'm like, "Okay, fine." I was like, I was in the minority where I'm like, I'm willing to give it a chance. I go because every Zelda game that's ever come out has been great.
Yeah.
Philips 3DI aside,
Zelda 2.
or CDI, I meant. Zelda. I still enjoyed Zelda 2. Sorry.
A lot of people like Zelda 2. Don't worry.
Yeah. So like I said, with the exception of the CDI, every Zelda game I think has been a great game. So and then when Waker came out and proved everybody wrong. So at that point, it's like if you haven't learned that Nintendo knows what they're doing with their Zelda series, nobody's going to teach you. So the graphics didn't bother me at all, and you know what? I mean, it paid off. I mean, I really think it works.
Oh, absolutely. Again, everyone's praising this game. I saw one review saying it is every bit worth the $60 that it is. I would say so as well. So on my end, because I'm gonna be able to compare it to the Zelda, and I want to hear your thoughts on being someone who's actually diving into this for the first time ever. On my end, as soon as the game started, yeah, I got that rush of muscle memory almost for the beginning part of the game, at least. So the layout of the game, and I'm sure there's going to be little bits and pieces, like for example, the dungeon, the created dungeon. I forgot the official name of it, but the one where you create your own dungeons. So that's creator. Obviously, yes, yeah. So that's going to be different because that originally was the house that had the color dungeon in Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening DX for the Game Boy Color. So gameplay wise, layout wise, I can never pronounce the island's name. Karoki? Yeah, it's weird.
No, Karoki?
No. Nope. Begins with a K.
No, it doesn't. Is it Kenahit?
Karoki.
Karoki. Whatever you want to call it.
Karoki.
So, Karaoke Island.
Koholint. 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 20-something years, I haven't been able to say that. So the layout, very, very, as soon as the game started, I knew it head down to get the sword, for the first key, and then the first dungeon really, came back to me. So definitely that's good. Like I was a little worried they were going to try and change things up a little bit, maybe move dungeons or something like that, which they did not. So if you played the Game Boy, yeah, definitely. If you played the Game Boy version, you're going to be able to get through this game. And I'm sure there'll be some fun surprises as we go along, who's used to the Game Boy version. Now, as a novice to this, and like any Zelda game, short of the first one where there's just a hole in the wall, you walk in and you find your sword, like, and I apologize, I didn't get a chance to watch the beginning of the stream. I was at my parents', but like, how long did it take you to find the first sword, and how much, like, did you start to get frustrated at any point? Because a lot of it is, it's new, so you are discovering everything for the first time on Kariki Island.
Yeah, Karaoke Island. So I think the sword didn't bother me as much. It was funny. Like I was wandering around for like maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I think you can go back to the video and actually check it. But then I'm like, you know what? I go, if it's gonna be anywhere, it'll be on the beach. And sure enough, that's where it was, which was great. That wasn't the part that, and I didn't get frustrated at all playing it because again, like one of the things I love about Zelda games, it's kind of the joy of discovery.
Exactly. Yeah.
You wander around, you talk to everybody, you learn about things. I loved giving the little bow wow or the little chomp chomp a bow.
Oh, you're already after that point. That's a whole second part of the game is the whole trading system.
Yeah,
that's a game in itself.
And I've done a handful of those without realizing, this is going to be a through line.
What it was. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, why do I keep trading things? But anyway, so nothing really frustrated me because again, I just kind of enjoy wandering around. It's weird wandering around when you're live streaming though, because you're sitting there and you're like, I go, people are probably expecting me to just blow through this game. I go, and I'm lost. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm just like, I'm just sitting there and enjoying it.
But like when someone knows a part of the game and you don't, I experienced that with Chrono Trigger when I was live streaming Chrono Trigger. I was wandering for like a good 5 minutes, just going back and forth screen to screen. I'm like, what do I do next? And like, I'm envisioning people watching, like screaming at their televisions or at their phones, go here. So,
yes. Which also reminds me to say thank you to one of our fans on Facebook, Sean, who did guide me through some of Link's the opening when I played part 1. He was literally just like, he's like, oh man, I haven't played this in so long, and he's like, you got to do this, and then you got to do that. And I'm like, okay. I was like, fine. But still, like, even while doing that, it was a lot of fun. The only part that I wouldn't say I got annoyed with, but I found humorous was that it took me about an hour to find the first dungeon.
Ooh, okay.
It took me a while to find, because I was wandering around, and the stupid owl, he tells you, he tells you what you're supposed to do next. And I'm like, fine, I'll do that next. And I'm like, but where is next? It's like, if the owl is there, this is just my argument, and it's a video game thing. It's just a general video game thing. When you have a guide, right? Why don't they just, like, you have an owl. Hey, follow me. I'm going to land on top of the dungeon and you can go in it. It's like, no. It's like, he's just like, no. You need to get the key, the tail key, to open up the dungeon. Great. Thank you. it's like you could just bring me there. It would be nice. But anyway, small
And I
again, small
yeah,
complaint. But again, it
and
took
I
me a while to find the first one, but
yep.
it was, you know, again, I enjoy discovering things because that's when you usually find all the little side quests and stuff when you're doing that.
Yes. And there are a good number of side quests in Link's Awakening. I found it very fun and enjoyable when the part of the stream I was watching when you were in the dungeon. And I think it was the first dungeon.
Mhm.
And you come across the part where you go down the stairs and it's like the side scrolling part. And you really went, Goombas. Well, okay, there's Goombas in this game. So, the discovery of there are like Mario mentions, and there's the same thing in the Game Boy game. Mario mentions in the Zelda game.
Yeah, it kind of made me wonder if they were ever planning like some type of crossover between the worlds, or like is it like the Mushroom Kingdom and oh man, Hyrule are in the same universe,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak, or the same
I would
world.
have been, yeah.
Even
And I
it's a
remember,
weird
yeah,
planet.
yeah, Nintendo Planet. And I remember and again, like everything that you're experiencing now, I remember going through when I was playing it on Game Boy, which is awesome. That's the whole, like you said, and the Miyamoto basically created Zelda for his love of going around exploring. Yeah, so like now granted with me, a lot of it with the experience, like, and we're not going to give much away. This is, the beginning of the game. And again, if you've already played it on Game Boy, you know what's happening. To find the first key, you go into the mysterious woods, and then you end up coming across the witch. Then you got to get the mushroom. Then you get the potion, or the powder, I should say. And then the raccoon ends up, you spray him, you turn him into something. So a lot of that I kind of knew. So like my worry is I'm not going to blow through the game. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to like rush through this game.
Right.
If I already know stuff, because I want to take the time to look at the game as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been a hit on every level. I just want to real quick just mention some of it, like as far as scores. I mean, Metacritic 88 out of 100, Game Informer 9 out of 10, GameSpot 8 out of 10, and our friends over at Nintendo Life, they don't know that we're friends, 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just some of the stuff.
And I want to say IGN gave it 9.5 out of 10.
9.4 out of 10.
9.4. Mm-hmm.
Just missed 9.5. So this game is really, really rocking out. Now, I mean, we're going to do a little bit of a segment later, but I figure I'll mention this now. So I did pick up the Link's Awakening amiibo.
Very nice.
It's very adorable. And apparently, I believe yes, you can use the amiibo, any of the Zelda amiibo, even maybe Breath of the Wild. I haven't tried it yet, but definitely like one of this guy. I love this guy. 8-bit.
Yes, he's awesome.
You scan it in, and that's where you can share and trade custom dungeons. So basically, you can load a dungeon into the amiibo and then bring it over to your friend's house. They can play it, and I'm pretty sure the amiibo give you like special rooms anyway. Each one I think has a special room in it. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna break that out in a little while. Even though I didn't realize this was an import. Now that I look at it, interesting. Yeah. So with Zelda, let me ask you this: do you have? And as you're playing along, you're going to enjoy the game, obviously, and I know you're going to beat it at some point. Do you think you have the urge, or would have the urge, to go back and try the Game Boy version?
I probably would. Well, no. I probably wouldn't now because I can play it on a large television. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't if I have to play it on, or even if I had it on the Switch, I would play it on the Switch, but just not on the original Game Boy. I couldn't handle that screen.
Super Game Boy.
Yeah, and that was one of the other things. I just completely passed up on the Super Game Boy, and I probably had I done that, I would have blown through all the Zelda games on handheld. So
we've it's so anything about the Zelda in this Zelda series that in the Zelda game, I should say, that you've noticed maybe that like you may have seen in other Zelda games that you go, oh, all right, that makes sense. Or I'm not saying like a callback, but was there a just like a mechanic or something in there that you've seen so far, maybe in something else?
Yeah, a lot of the mechanics are familiar. So sword, press B for sword, and then you hold the B button down to do the whirlwind swirl and all that stuff. I mean, everything about it is very familiar. So if you've played a Zelda game, or I should say the less complicated ones from Super Nintendo and earlier, I guess it's all very familiar in terms of the mechanics. I love the random. I love the random characters that really don't relate to what's going on around them. So like, there's that girl in town. I don't remember her name. She's like, Taryn's gone missing in the woods. I'm just gonna sing. And
Maria, I think it is.
Is it Maria? Yeah, I'm assuming she has a big. I'm assuming she'll play a larger part in the story because she's on. I think she was on the cover, or no? I saw her somewhere.
Whoops.
No, she's not on the cover, but she was on a lot of the. She was on a lot of the key art for.
She is, yeah.
Yeah, she's on the sales art, but you know what I love too? The kids in the town who basically direct you on stuff, but then they always end it with, "But what do I know? I'm just a kid," and I'm like. Yeah. It's the little bit like it's those little bits of humor that they throw in there that I always love in every Zelda game, because it's a way the creators are kind of being playful with you as the gamer, and that's really fun.
Her name is Marin. She's the one that saved you, actually, who rescued you.
Yes, yeah, she likes to sing, but yeah, no, not you.
I am the Marin of the show.
Yeah, well, that's just because I choose not to sing because I know better. And I don't want to upstage you. So,
okay, my bad.
Anyway, one of the funny things I found about the game was, is his name Orira? Whoever he is, Orira. It's the guy you call on the phone. And
yeah.
So this is the first Zelda game where I'm like sitting here and I'm like, wait, they have phones in this world?
Yeah.
I'm like, why have we not seen this before? Yep. But then I realized like every link is a different link, you know what I mean, for the most part. So apparently in this world, telephones were invented. I was like, but not only telephones, but for what the looks of them are, telephones from like the 60s were invented.
Oh yeah, well,
the big rotary phone.
Yep. Remember, we're talking mid '90s here. The game came out, right? Probably came out like '93 or something. Yeah, 1993 came out.
But it was just interesting to see a telephone in the game. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I got, like I said, the Chomp Chomp thing. I didn't want to bring Chomp Chomp back to his owner. I just wanted to walk. I loved watching him just like shoot out and eat people.
Yep.
It was just great.
Yeah, no, that's definitely cool. Also, I think this was the first Zelda game. I don't think you did it in Link to the Past, where you could jump. So
I'm
pretty sure.
No, could you jump in? No. Link to the Past, I thought you got the speed boots so you can run.
Yeah, the Pegasus boots. Yeah,
the Pegasus boots, and then you also had the hook shot. Didn't you?
Oh, that's right, the hook shot. Yeah. So this one was the first one where you can jump, the feather. And again, it's just the love of just watching someone who's never played the game before. Even though I got to go back and I don't remember this, but when you were walking in the hallway to end up getting the feather, and floating above is a 3 heart icon. Mm-hmm. And I remember you're walking like, oh, I guess you need 3 hearts to get that, like 3 full hearts.
Well, I thought it was you needed 3 hearts to get through that part, and I'm like, and I have 3 hearts, so I'm okay.
I don't remember if that was in the Game Boy version. So because obviously with the updated graphics, you can see depth as opposed to the Game Boy game. So that was fun. So yeah, a lot of kind of new things in this one, especially the feather was big time. And again, seeing, I did the exact same thing. You walk out and you walk around, you're like, oh, I could have just jumped that. The gap.
Oh yeah, I did that a couple of times where I'm like, oh yeah, I can get across this now.
Now, here's where the good part of the game on the Switch. So on the Game Boy, obviously you only had 2 buttons, B and A. So you can only equip 2 things at a time. In this version, you can equip 4 because then you assign X and Y. So that's going to be a, no pun intended, game changer going through this game to have more accessibility to some of these weapons as opposed to constantly having to go back and forth. Some of the other cool aspects of the game I want to get your idea about is the which come up very often, like the Guardian Acorn and the power, like that kind of boosts your power and gives you more strength for a few moments.
Yeah, I thought those were cool touches. I think if anything, it makes me feel like the game is like it makes me think the game's a little easier because of those. Because I don't really like, I prefer, again, you never really have those things in the other games. So unless you count like the blue and the red ring.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to come across something similar to that in this game. I'm going to assume not until it happens. But yeah, I mean, they're cool little boosts and everything like that. It had a strange non-Zelda feel to me though, to get stuff like that.
And I think they did that to incorporate the like the fact that the game was on a Game Boy and it was really, again, the Game Boy wasn't really meant for like a 10-hour epic. So
Right.
it was designed to play fairly quickly, not as quick on the Zelda game as some of the other games, but I think by giving you those boosts, that allows you to do that. Which is also why I'm wondering if they're going to do anything in this to try and stretch the game out as far as time. So that way you can get like a better aspect, a feel of the game. What I want to talk about on my end is the actual comparison between the Game Boy and the Switch version. Because it was weird when I was done playing, like, and I'm not far into it. I just entered the second dungeon. So I've been busy this week. So this weekend. But I'm going to play it a little bit later on today. I'm going to get really into it. But after I was done getting through the first dungeon, I was like, you know what? Let me go back and just look at the Game Boy version, because I have the original Game Boy version and I have the virtual cons on the 3DS. Technically, I have Zelda DX on that one. So I went back and I started playing, and besides the obvious graphical difference, the game is pretty much running the exact same way, and it really kind of put a smile on my face. Like, wow, this really is playing the original game with the updated graphics to a point where I'm like, the hell did I buy this game for? I just could have played it on Game Boy. But there'll be enough of a difference to justify the Switch purchase.
Well, not only that, but how many games from Nintendo have you bought over and over again?
This is true, but be that as it may, but I tend to buy literally the exact same game. True. Super Mario Brothers over and over and over.
Yeah.
So at least this one's got a graphical difference to it.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, this one is an upgrade, and then when you're done playing through it, they obviously added an element of replay value with the dungeon creator.
Yes, I want to get to. I think I passed the where you can enter it, but I haven't gone in yet. So I'm going to try that a little bit later on today, as we speak. Unbox.
Nice. I went through. I went into the house, and I almost dove into it, and I'm like, people that do not want to watch me make dungeons for 6 hours, which is what would happen if I do that.
Well, you definitely could. That's a trap you'll fall into.
Oh yeah, there's no question about it, because I love that stuff.
So some of the obvious upgrades on the Switch that I like as opposed to the Game Boy, obviously with the Game Boy, literally every screen would have to, rotate and change, you know what I mean? Not a smooth walk as it is in the Switch version. But the part that they did retain, and I want to get your thoughts on this because it happens a lot. Almost, I compare it to Castlevania 2 when it goes from day to night and night to day, where like whenever those acorns show up, or wherever you find one of the hidden seashells, or like the game always does that quick pause for a couple of seconds, gives you the exact same text over and over and over again. And it just kind of like, I'm not going to say disrupts the flow, but when it happens like 20 times, you're like, all right, I get it. I know what this acorn is. I know what it's all about. I don't know. It's a very little thing. I'm not nitpicking. I'm just saying, something like that. I'm like, that didn't change.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely a throwback to the, just the original game. And yes, I agree with you. It can get a little annoying, especially when it happens so often. I'm like, but again, these were things we put up with. Hold on, I'm watching my cat. My cat has learned how to open my cabinets, and she's been going under the sink.
Which one?
Snow. The one who's about to join us on the show.
Uh-oh. Well, we are talking about Link's Awakening.
We are.
But that would be Link, so.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Yeah, it gets a little bit annoying, but it's it's relative to the experience to me. Like
Sure.
now it's a bit nostalgic. Now for something like Castlevania 2, that they should never put that in the game again. Like you want to
Oh boy.
re-release that, that's great. I go, but good God, stop that thing from happening.
So basically, all right. So overall, you're happy for this game and you're excited to play it, and it's definitely, this is like a new entry into the series that you're really
Yes.
looking forward to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been having a blast so far, and I will continue to enjoy it as I live stream it.
Awesome. And the nostalgia definitely will kick in for those of you, like I said earlier, if you played the Game Boy version, either Game Boy version, you are going to feel the nostalgia for this one. It definitely works, even with the bubbly graphics. I'm over it. I'm good to go. So let us know what you think about Link's Awakening. Let us know if you're playing it right now. Let us know if it's your first time playing Link's Awakening or if you're coming back to Coherent Island and, enjoying
Karaoke.
all the aspects of Coherent Island.
Karaoke Island.
Let us know on all our social media pages, and we're gonna take a moment.
All right, Larry, another week, another set of retro birthdays.
Ooh, who's getting older?
We are.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn. Hi, Frank.
Yes. He won't hear this. He's on like episode like 60. He's not gonna hear this for a long time because he refuses to not go out of order. But that's neither here nor there.
And you know what? I completely understand that because when I listened to the Better Half podcast, and the Yin and the Yang podcast, I had to binge. I couldn't just start somewhere. I had to go. Anyway, this week's retro birthdays. So I got a couple of them,
Okay.
and the first one is an interesting one only because it is what is it? The 33rd anniversary.
Ooh,
33rd
okay.
anniversary of Castlevania in Japan when it was released on the Famicom Disk System.
Oh, cool. All
Yeah.
right. Wow.
Yeah. Now,
33.
and for those of you who don't know, when Castlevania first came out in Japan and it was on the Famicom Disk System, you were actually able to save your progress in the game on the disc, which was kind of awesome.
Yeah, and needed. Well needed.
And definitely needed, because if you saw me live stream Castlevania a week or so ago, it took me forever to get through certain parts. And I'm like, oh man, I completely forgot how to beat Dracula at the end. Completely forgot. And
I've never gotten to
like,
Dracula.
what?
I've never gotten to Dracula in the first one.
Oh wow, okay. Good luck. So, but the cool thing is, if you have if you bought the collection on, PlayStation or Xbox.
Well, it's another one. I have like 9 copies, so
yeah, exactly. So you'll get through it eventually one day. So anyway, it is the 33rd birthday of that, and now we'll fast forward to a more recent release, but we are also celebrating the 26th birthday of a game that I absolutely love and have never completed. I can say that confidently, and I really want to get my hands on it again. And it was a PC game, actually.
Wow.
So yeah, so we're talking about the 26th birthday of the original Myst.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, you never beat that? God, you love that game.
I love that game, and I it was. I think at the time I was maybe a little too young to grasp the whole idea of that game, the whole concept.
Okay.
Nowadays, I play games like that all the time, and I love it. Like perfect example, like if you want to play a current game similar to Myst or like those types of games, download The Witness on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One.
Okay.
Absolutely beautiful puzzle game on an island, just wandering around and discovering all these different puzzles, and it is hard. It is hard, but I plowed through it in like 2 weeks because I love those kinds of games.
Okay.
But again, that type of game all stems from the original release of a game like Myst. So we got, so I thought that was a really special one to call out this week. So we got Castlevania, we've got Myst as this week's retro birthdays.
All right. So Zelda, Legend of Zelda. Oh, what do we got? I don't know if you're going to see that in front. I think every once in a while
you may see a little tail swishing.
There we go. Got to saw Payne's Cat's royalty.
I know. They really want to be on the show.
Other than Link's Awakening being the big release, we also got, let me get this here. What's also again being heralded as probably one of the better minis, if not the best mini, to come out in a while. Oh, wait a minute.
What the hell was that?
Hold on. There we go. The Genesis
Wait,
Mini.
Wait. How did they say that again?
Well, it was Sonic.
No. But what you just played, if I heard it correctly, I believe they said Sega, right? Sega.
Sega.
You'll get it right one day. That's your future.
Tired of mentioning, calling out to Frank on the show. All right, so Genesis Mini, there it is in its little tiny box in all its 42 game glory.
Mine is on the way. It did not show up day of, and I don't know why.
That's where mine did, but so a friend of ours, a friend of the show, Mario, Citizen G, actually kind of behind the scenes here in this apartment complex, I'll call it. He is actually moved in downstairs, my old basement apartment.
Oh, did he?
He moved in.
Very
He
nice.
did, yeah. So he's been down there, and I moved upstairs into the upstairs apartment. So I ordered the Genesis in April. Mm-hmm. I think he ordered his in June. He got his 2 days before I did.
That's weird.
So very odd. I don't know.
Yeah, see, no, I just assumed that because I only ordered mine maybe 2 weeks ago. Maybe
wow.
Maybe that's why it's coming later.
That could be. Yeah, that could be.
Thanks to the Sony PlayStation Classic, I decided to wait for the reviews to come in before I put the pre-order on.
And there's nothing wrong with the PlayStation Classic.
Not only that, but we've been down the Genesis Mini road several times.
This is true.
And I wanted to make sure that this was like going to be the legit one.
No, you're right. All joking aside, you're exactly right. But as you saw, everyone's praising this one, and this one's good.
Yeah, which is exactly why I pre-ordered it. So I'm like, okay, good. I go, the reviews are good. I can order this one and not be worried. Now I'm just waiting for it. I think it's showing up tomorrow on the first day of autumn, which is yesterday when this episode dropped.
Whoa! All right, my head just exploded. So
time travel.
The system, So like we said, very, very cool. I did play. So then now you know when I live streamed the Genesis play, it was actually Mario's Genesis that I was live streaming. But nice. I gotta say, the games look fantastic, and I'm not just saying because now it's an HDMI hookup. I don't know if they did a graphical upgrade slightly on the games, but they look gorgeous. They run smoothly, and it's just really it just reminds me of the feel when we first got the NES Classic, the one that kind of started this whole craze. And the NES Classic is amazing, don't get me wrong. Yes. And just that feel of the games and everything. Technically, you can say you're playing it on like an original system, because these minis I'll consider first party. When I say original, I know obviously you can't put a cartridge in, but it's from Sega, so we're gonna count
Sega.
it.
Yes.
The controllers are original size controllers. I forgot how big the Genesis controllers are.
Oh yeah, those things were meaty. It was really crazy. And especially because like when you bought it, it was really for kids, and I'm like, my little hands.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, hands are a little bit smaller. Like the control, I did it on the video. The controller is almost as big as the system itself.
Yeah, not surprising.
But what's cool, real quick, is our friends, and they don't know it, over at Retrobit has put out official Sega controllers. On a side note, they put out controllers even for the original systems. So if you want like a new controller and consider it first party, Sega has signed off with Retrobit, has teamed with them. So they're putting out officially licensed controllers, even I think Bluetooth controllers for the original systems. Just put a dongle in. Yeah. So you could pick up their because the North American Mini, comes with the 2 3-button controllers, but you can buy a 6-button controller from Retrobit that will work that's designed for the Mini. And the controller, I didn't realize when they redesigned it how much smaller it was. So
well, and here's the one thing I will say about the Genesis Mini that I think that they got wrong was And again, it's not. I don't have mine yet. But the minute they announced that Street Fighter was going to be on it, they should have switched to the 6-button controller, because how do you play Street Fighter without the 5 buttons? Because it was a 5-button game.
You're right. Well, I mean, you could. You just have to hit the start button, I think, to switch between kicks and. But you're right, and it's weird. Again, Japan's getting the 6 buttons. We got the 3 button. The only thing I can think of is, cha-ching, you get people to go out and buy a 6-button controller.
Right.
And they're only $20, and it's not bad. Both controllers are very responsive. They're not, phrasing. They're not sticking the buttons. You know what I mean? It's very smooth. And it runs really cool. The graphics, like I said, the menu's fantastic. The 2 bonus games, because there's 42 games in there, is the unreleased Tetris, which I want to get your thoughts on, because the graphics are weird on it. I think it tried to be an import or a direct port of the arcade Tetris. And then a side-scrolling shoot 'em up called Darius. But that's not the best part about the Mini. And just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to be right back.
Oh, okay. And while Larry walks away for something we haven't planned, I'm going to fill the silence by just sitting here and telling you how Larry has mispronounced the name Sega his entire life. And he really needs to get that under control, because it's damaging to the video game industry and to the retro gamers for saying it incorrectly.
NES and SNES are wrong. Okay.
NES and SNES are wrong, but I only say them to bother you.
Okay, so here's why. Let me back this up a little bit. And let me back up a little bit. So this came the exact same days the Mini came from. This I got from Japan, and I made out like a bandit because I didn't pay extra for shipping, and they overnighted it from Tokyo.
Wow.
So, because
you got it, right? The thing that I wanted and I didn't order.
And it's from Amazon Japan. So, granted, it's a North American base with Japanese accoutrement, but the Tower of Power.
Tower of Power. That looks shorter than it should be.
No, it's about right, because you got the Mega CD, which was Sega CD Gen 1, the Genesis Mini, 32X, Sonic and Knuckles, again, all Japanese, but still Sonic and Knuckles, and then a little Sonic game, and they it's
awesome.
Just pop right out.
Now, at the end of the day, it's still just the Genesis Mini.
Oh yeah, none of these work. You don't plug those in. It's purely aesthetic purposes. But what's really cool, just to show real quick, because when I tried putting this together on the Mega CD, so the Mega CD comes like that, and there was an attachment for this piece hooked up, to get the game hooked up. So I'm like, when I was trying to originally put it on, I couldn't get it to go. And I'm like, how could they do it? So clearly, obviously, this was planned the whole time, because there's an auxiliary. The original auxiliary still comes off the little Mini.
Oh, nice.
And that's how it hooks in. Very cool. Now what I heard was that, and it just pops, everything just easily pops right in. What I heard real quick, and I'm sorry, is that there is North American versions of the Sega CD Gen 1, 32X, all this stuff here. Supposedly, they went to, and this bugs me, went to YouTube influencers. I hate that term, influencer, on YouTube. So I guess like Angry Video Game Nerd maybe got one, Pat the NES Punk maybe got one, and people who review. So as far as I know, the North American versions of these are not for sale, but you can easily get it from Amazon.co.jp. It was about 3,200 yen. Oh no, 4,200 yen, which is like $42. And I got free shipping, I think, from Japan. Yeah. So even though, like I said, and then I want your thoughts on it, even though it's Japanese, American, I think it still works. And it still looks awesome.
No, I mean, no. I think that's awesome. I mean, I was about to ask you, did you buy the Mega Drive Mini as well? Because, right. Because the Mega Drive Mini had a couple of different games on it.
It did. Here's the thing. Now that I definitely see that all that is Japanese, my OCD is going to kick in about a week and a half of staring at it. and my only OCD is with video games, and then it will make me go out and get a Mega Drive Mini, which I was gonna do. Remember, there's actually like 3 different versions of the Mega Drive.
Yes,
there's North American, there's the Japanese, and there's the Asian, which has even more other games on it.
Yep.
So,
yeah, so they definitely went out of their way to create some variety here.
Now, and this you may get a kick out of. The Tower of Power, it wasn't just those pieces. I was shocked to see that this was in there as well.
Oh, what is that?
I had no idea what this was, and I still don't know because it's in Japanese, but it is, let me put that down. Hopefully it doesn't shut the podcast off. It's like a blueprint.
Oh, that's really cool.
Right? So now I have no clue what any of this is. The only thing I can think of is this is a list of every Genesis game.
Okay, I would believe that, and that's actually really cool. Now, one other question about that though. When you got the Tower of Power, I thought it came with every game on the Mini. Is that incorrect? Was that something separate?
And when we say that, Anthony's meaning the little cartridges.
The little cartridge.
Guys, yeah. I believe that is a special edition of the Mega Drive Mini. I don't think it was the Tower of Power.
Oh, okay.
Like it came in like almost like in a frame, right? Like they were kind of framed up.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah. There's one more thing in this envelope to show real quick. Mm-hmm. And again, it's in Japanese, so I don't know what it's all about. But it's some sort of like manual. And again, it's like blueprints.
Cool. It kind of looks like the design blueprints for when it was, or the spec.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I thought that was really cool. I was not expecting that at all when this showed up. So
it's a nice little added touch to you know the collectible. So
definitely. So let me put that away. And that wasn't the only thing that I picked up. As soon as I could put right.
Well, wait. Let's before you move off of the Genesis Mini, we only talked briefly about the game. So now, when you tried it. I know you live streamed a bit, but I missed it. Was there any game that you felt like, wow, like this is exactly the way I remember it. This looks better than I remember it. This is one I've never played before.
Yeah, we played. I mean, there's definitely a lot of games I never played before. I'm going to get to, but I definitely tried out. You know, obviously Sonic 2, tried those. Ran smooth as I remember. You know, we didn't have the filters on. I love on these minis. I love to put the filters on, like the scan lines, like to really degrade the games.
You want the actual gameplay from when you were a kid.
I do.
Totally.
I want to slow down, but no, these Castlevania Bloodlines ran amazing. Contra Hardcore, fantastic. And then I started playing some games. Like I said, Tetris, just a weird looking. I mean, Tetris is Tetris. You can't really screw it up. But just the graphics looked a little weird on that. Darius, which again was never released officially on Genesis, plays amazing. Cool. It is fantastic. And then some games I played for the first time, such as World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck.
Yes,
that was a
great game.
It is fun. It was a little slow for me, like just the way Mickey moved. But I wasn't really paying attention. I was just kind of playing along.
Okay.
Shining Force is on here, and Shining Force plays just like I remember.
I love Shining Force. Such a great game.
And then some games I'm looking forward to really getting into. Like I never really got into Alex Kidd, never really played that. Gunstar Hero, never really played. So there's a lot of stuff on here. Mario played Shinobi 3. He's a big Shinobi fan. And even he was saying that Mario, if you've listened to past episodes, he had the Genesis. As much as me and Anthony grew up with Nintendo, he grew up with Genesis. And hearing him say these games look almost better than they originally did, to me was like, all right, that's cool, because this guy grew up with Genesis.
This makes it worth it.
Yeah. Shinobi said was fantastic, and I know he started playing some of the role-playing games. So all in all, definitely well worth it. I don't think it's going to drop in price like other systems that I bought day one. And
you mean like the PlayStation Classic?
Whatever.
That is currently $20.
I'm happy I paid full price of over $100.
With
tax.
I paid $12.
Gift cards don't count.
Okay,
even
fine. Without the gift cards, I paid $30.
So definitely go out, get the Genesis Mini, and if you want, go ahead, create a whole new account on Amazon.co.Japan and get the Tower of Power. So that
very
works
fun
out really well
stuff.
as well. Yeah, very cool. What I also picked up because I went to Game On over the weekend, and I
Mm-hmm.
found a game that I honestly did not know came out on Nintendo, let alone came out with this company that you'll see in a moment. I first saw this game at Barcade, actually, the arcade game, and it's Roadrunner, which even when I saw it in Barcade, I'm like, I didn't know they made a Roadrunner arcade game. And it's a very fun game. And even without, oh, it shows on the back anyway. But anyway, Tengen. So
Yeah.
Tengen with the weird shaped
Yes.
boxes, cartridges. But look at that label. That is a gorgeous label on that.
That's really clean.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that is a pristine copy, and we played it at the store, and the game basically plays just like the arcade. You're the Roadrunner, you're running away from Wile E. Coyote, picking up feed and stuff like that. And being a fan of the old cartoons, I'm very happy I was able to pick that up. So I'm gonna add that to the collection behind me, and whenever the Polymega gets to me, I'll be able to play it.
Very cool. Looks great. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've ever necessarily played that one, so it'll be interesting.
very rare. I mean, I even realized they got the license. Well, Tengen, they let's not talk about licensing with Tengen. That's why their cartridges are
Yeah,
shaped
their license. Yeah, I was gonna say their licensing was a little questionable.
but they had good games. They had Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man first, Gauntlet, some of those.
Yeah.
So, and
Tetris.
then Tetris, yes, that was the
their
big
version of Tetris. Yeah.
that was the one that got him sued.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pick anything up over the week?
I did pick up stuff, but some of it was virtual. So I picked up the Contra Anniversary Collection on PlayStation 4.
You did. Nice. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
it was on sale for
was
$10.
it? All right.
Yeah, it was
Cool.
$10. Picked that up. Picked up a couple of indie games. I'm starting to branch out, at least on digital platforms, not only for retro stuff but indie games.
Okay.
There's this cool little game I picked up called Hue, Hue, and it was like $3. But it's kind of like a 2D side-scrolling kind of puzzle game. And it all involves you playing around with the background in different colors and how it affects the environment. And it's actually really cool because as you go along, you collect new colors, so you can, so you can affect the background to help you solve the puzzle of each room.
Okay.
And a beautiful little 2D game. It kind of reminded me of Limbo a little bit. Just obviously a more colorful version of Limbo. If you've never played Limbo or Inside from the same company, I highly recommend it. But Hue was a really cool game.
Okay.
Outside of that, obviously I bought Link's Awakening. But then my short story again. My office at work is currently moving to a new building. So we move into the new place on Monday. So we've been packing for the last couple of weeks. And one of my coworkers and friends, who I believe he was on the show briefly because my friend Jose, we were the ones who went to Best Buy at like 4 a.m. for the Super Nintendo Classic.
Oh yes, yeah.
But anyway, he used to work at I want to say, was it Mattel or Jakks Pacific? I forget.
Oh wow.
Who basically he was responsible for designing a lot of the Nintendo product that you've seen in toy stores for the last few years.
Okay.
As a result of this, he has a lot of extra stuff. So whenever he's cleaning stuff out, I get to benefit from it because he's like, "Hey, do you want this stuff?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "So because like some of the stuff I have back here, like this little Samus figure."
Ooh.
Like this was the
prototype?
I guess one of the prototypes or one of the early molds
cool.
before it got approved. Kind of cool. So
that's
he gave
cool.
me so he gave me the I think I've shown these before, but he gave me that a while ago. He also gave me one for Link, for Wind Waker Link.
That's cool.
Which is really cool. So these really so he gives me all this really cool stuff. I'm gonna put you down here because it's too high up there.
Look at you mooching off of someone who works for another company. Good Lord.
Not normally my shame. Well, look, it's not normally my thing, and I don't ask for it. He offers. See, there's a difference. I'm not mooching if I'm just getting offered stuff. So anyway,
WWE. Okay.
Yeah, who's the mooch there?
Well, there you go. All right. Well,
not
keeping that one in post.
Anyway, so so he gave me a few items that he was willing to part with. One of them is this really cool little Wind Waker plush Link.
Oh, that's adorable.
It's kind of cool. Yes. And got a shield on the back.
Oh, very nice. Cool.
Yeah. But again, it's also really cool because, like, we talk video games all the time. He's a good friend, and it's also cool to see, like, these are things that he helped make, which is
absolutely. So, that's awesome.
So if you have a little Wind Waker Toon plush Link,
there you go.
I know somebody who will make it. Also, he gave me a couple of figures. One is the Skull Kid from Majora's Mask.
Very cool. Oh, and a little extra mask as well. God, I hate that game. But all right, very cool.
Love that game.
A lot of people do.
And then he also gave me, this is from Wind Waker. This is Zelda from Wind Waker with the ocarina.
Oh, that's cool. That's very nice. Yep. Yes.
She has 8 points of articulation.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
And again, she got the little ocarina in there as well.
That's
kind of cool. So
I've always wanted to buy a real ocarina. One, maybe this year. It's always being sold at Comic-Con. When I go to New York Comic-Con.
You know where they sell them too now? At the Renaissance Fair. If you go to the Renaissance Fair, you can get an ocarina, and they sell the Zelda one too when you go.
Everybody I know, on a side note, went to the Renaissance Fair up there where we went to that time.
Yeah, I know, and I need to go back.
Technically, there was that weekend where we kind of did our first episode of the Retro Gamers.
That's actually true. That was a monumental weekend for us.
It was.
That's what sucked me into this garbage.
There you go.
Yay. Actually, I'd really enjoy it. And then another cool thing he gave me. Again, it's this is called Microland playset. Well, not playset. Microland. Small World, Big Fun. But Outset Island from Legend of Zelda Wind Waker in micro form.
Oh my God, that is. I love that.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah, so apparently they put together for Wind Waker, there was Outset Island and then the King of the Red Lions, which is the boat.
What did that
on the dock.
Sticker say? Oh, that's cool.
Link micro figure included. So
okay, well, better
if you go in really close, you see Link kind of chilling in there. So
very cool. World of Nintendo. What is this? Is this stuff supposed to be was exclusive for the Nintendo New York City store?
No. No, I mean,
okay.
These were sold in stores. Like, this was made by Jakks Pacific, copyright 2015.
Cool.
So these were available in store. I'm assuming they're obviously not anymore, but it's just really cool to get these.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then last but not least, and this is the one that you're gonna love.
Oh.
This is cool. Like, I
actual Link.
What? No.
You have.
Well, yes, he actually does. Link. He has. Okay. But he's not. He won't part with him. But
a human being living in his house.
But I will say, like, I got really excited when I saw this sitting on my chair the other day because I was like, what is this doing here? And my coworker was like, yeah, Jose's getting rid of it, and he figured you would love it. And I'm like, that's an understatement of the year. But Larry, get ready for this one. But
the fact that you just moved that. What's that? What? How did you get your hands on this Mario?
It's
God!
Fireball Mario, and what is he like? What is this, like a 18-inch figure, 24-inch figure?
Probably. That is amazing.
Yeah, and look, his legs.
Whoa, he moves.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no,
wow.
He moves. Okay,
he's got 4 points of articulation.
He does, and on top of that, see, he's got a version of this of Link.
Oh, nice.
Like the side.
I mean, I won't lie.
I
like
saw
Mario
this.
one.
I got so excited. I was like, "This is amazing!" So
that is awesome.
Yes,
I love it. Very jealous.
Definitely touting that.
Very cool. Cats are probably like, he got a roommate, and he's very tiny.
Yes. And I will lament that, like, for everything that I get rid of in my home, I seem to replace it with something video game product wise. But you know what? I don't care.
That is my pop vinyls. Trust me.
Yeah,
the more I get rid of, the more I replace.
Yeah, and those were the cool. Those are the cool things I grabbed. The only other thing I did of video game notice is I put some new stuff on the wall. I just don't know if you can see it in the video screen, but I got my Friday the 13th.
I thought that was okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the Friday 13th NES cover framed, and then I got my Link cover holding the One Ring with Gollum behind him. You can't see the whole thing up there, but
that's cool.
But if I go like this, maybe you'll see it.
There you go. Yeah, you showed that to us last week or 2 weeks ago as well. But that looks nice in the frame.
Yeah, but now it's nice and framed and on my wall, and I'm very happy.
Uh-oh.
And that's not my face.
Nope. Yeah.
So that's my face.
Sweet.
But yeah, overall, like that's
The
pretty much all the new stuff that I got, and I gotta say, pretty happy with it. So as I fix my camera.
Size 4 seismic earthquake over there. Okay, cool. There you go. Camera's
nothing new in LA.
No, very. I love that Mario. Next time I come out there, it may or may not be fitting in my suitcase.
And you will be fitting in your suitcase. You try it.
I wish I could. No, very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. The last thing I want to mention, just super fast. So in the mail, I got this little envelope in the mail from this company. You ever get emails from like saying, hey, we got like a class action lawsuit against somebody. If you want to be part of the larger whatever, just sign here or something like that. Yes. You ever getting those?
Yeah, I've gotten those.
So I got that. And so folks, if you ever signed up for I forgot what it was because it was probably a year and a half ago, like a class action lawsuit against the PlayStation 3. And lo and behold, I got a check for like $3.02 for it out of the blue. I'll take it, but it kind of made me go back and remember this has probably happened about 4 or 5 times where these class action. I think the biggest check I ever got was like $12 for something, and there was another one on the PlayStation where you actually got like 3 free video games on the PS3. I forgot which 3 they were, but I don't know. It's just I was wondering if that ever happened to you. You sign up for these class action lawsuits and you get a little bit of dough.
Yeah, no, I've definitely done that before, and I like it when I actually get the money back because it makes sense to get the money back. What really bothers me is when these companies obviously they have these lawsuits that go through and they get caught doing whatever, and then they get away with it by saying, "Oh, okay, we'll give you a free game," or I was just part of one recently where I got I got a year's subscription of internet security. No. Pay me.
Well, that internet security could help.
Well, not only that, you know what that free internet security was for a year? It was because the company got hacked and my information was stolen. I'm like, okay, great. I go, my personal information is out there and I may have to deal with that in the future, but here's a year of internet security. Yeah, that really balances out.
So it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, but why would I trust the company who got hacked with a year of internet security?
Are you still using the same company?
No.
Okay, fair enough. How many times I've gotten emails about places getting hacked? I'm like, I'm just too tired.
I mean, look, and at the end of the day, I always say the same thing. Fine, hack me. I don't know what you're going to be able to use the information for.
Really? You're going to be very disappointed what they find on my computer.
Exactly. I'm like, that's great. It's like, all I'm going to get is, wow, this guy buys a lot of video games.
So I thought it was really cool. $3.02. Get the deposit go to the ATM.
Spend it wisely at Game On.
Too late. Actually, really cool. The other thing I bought a game on, I'll just talk real quick. It's too far over the room. Jaws, pop vinyl. So like cool. Big too. It's like this big. It's a biggie. I sold a bunch of pop vinyls back. So to make room on the wall pops, but that's filled up again.
Of course it did. Does the Jaws pop vinyl come with a bigger boat?
No. It's just regular Jaws. All 7 minutes of him on screen. And but there's a really cool like a chase, I think, of Jaws with the it's either bloodied or with the tank, with the oxygen tank.
Oh, nice.
In his mouth. So
very cool.
And speaking of pops, I signed up for New York Comic Con's lottery to hopefully win a chance to get online to hopefully buy non-sold out pops at New York Comic Con. So we'll see how that goes.
The fact that it's come to that just makes me sad.
You know what? I'm like, I'll do it because also they're also a separate lottery at New York Comic Con to try and win or buy a exclusive WWE Rock pop vinyl, which I haven't seen yet, but I think that's pretty fun. Cool.
No, yeah, so I mean is like you entered a lottery just for a chance to stand in line in hopes you can buy.
Honestly. So real quick, we have a lot of fans out there, I'm sure, who collect pop vinyls. It's part of the culture that we're in, the nerd culture. And I'll talk real quick. A couple years ago, New York Comic Con, it's like the first year they did this. Like, you can't go to New York Comic Con, just walk up to the Funko booth and get online.
You used to.
You used to, but not anymore. So the first year I think they did this, I won, and I got like primo real estate. It was Friday, 10 a.m. when they opened. So I was like, sweet. I was still like number 200 online by the time I got up there. But anyway, and then you're online, and then this because you can only buy one pop of each. You know what I mean? Like if you get the list, and there's a lot of cool ones coming out. I want like a Blunt Man and Chronic pop that looks fantastic, and a couple other ones. But there's people now wheeling and dealing with people not online. Like, are you going to get this one? No. All right. Can you buy me this one? I'll pay you this. Like, so there's deals happening online. It's ridiculous. And forget the fact that I really wasn't planning on getting to New York Comic Con till like 11 a.m., which is a good time and get in, just kind of walk around. If I get an early thing, I got to be there like 6 a.m. to try and beat the rush. So I don't know why I did it, but I did it. I'll try it. We'll see what happens. So worked 1 year, so we'll see what happens. Other than that, I think that's pretty much about it. I think we'll wrrap this one up.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good to me.
We were podcasting. So, all right. So, Ant, where can they find us everywhere?
Well, they can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast. You can hook up with us on Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast. You can listen to us wherever you listen to your podcast, Spreaker, Apple, what is Apple called now?
Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast.
And no more Podcoin. Podcoin's shutting down.
Podcoin
sorry.
is gone, unfortunately.
I did get $5 in Amazon credit though, because I listened enough, and then I donated to rest of something. I don't know, but Podcoin was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, Apple Podcast. We're on Spotify. You name it, we're there. Just look for us.
Yep.
And then you can watch us on YouTube at Retro Gamers Podcast, and you can watch us live stream now on Twitch at TRG_podcast.
Don't forget that underscore.
Don't forget that underscore. And you'll see us playing retro and current games. I mean, look, we're big retro gamers, but at the same time, we do play current games. So if you see us playing current games and you say, what gives? We're gamers. Forgive us, especially me, because I will play a lot of Dead by Daylight.
Yes.
I am curious about, and I will say this really quickly, I'm curious about what it's like to live stream a VR game. So you may see that happen sometime soon.
Good luck on that. I feel like you need someone else to run the computer at that point.
No, I don't think so. Like, in other words, like, I think you can stream, like, if I wanted to stream VR through my PlayStation 4, I think you would just see the first-person perspective, and I'm wondering if I can make people sick. And that could be fun.
I see what you're talking about. Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly. And, also check out our personal pages as well, because, we do some live streaming there as well. I'm everywhere at More365, and Ant, you got your Twitch page now.
Yeah, I got my Twitch page, which is Matsusu Plays, and that's usually where I will stream more current gaming,
more
like
modern,
Dead by Daylight and stuff like that, because I play Dead by Daylight like almost every day. So.
And wherever you listen to the podcasts, doesn't matter what platform you use, whatever their rating system is, 5 stars, thumbs up, hit that YouTube, hit the subscribe button, like the videos, please, if you do. And also hit the notification button, hit the subscribe button, so you know whenever we drop a new video, we drop a new podcast, which is every Tuesday. And folks, thank you very much as we continue this journey, and we will catch you right here next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.